ajọ ihe ka iwe du anyị n'ụzọ ine nke ezi omume gị ka iwe wezugara anyị ọrịa niile nke pụrụ ịdakwasị mmadụ dị ndụ n'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye na-agwọ ọrịa ka anyị wee na-akpọkụ gị onwe gị bụ sinele nke ndị agha ka iwe mere anyị ebere ka akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka ude nke anyị na-asụ wee bịa n'iru gị ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee guzosi ike ka anyị wee n'ikpete maazị nye ha nsọgụtụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi ise.
Welcome once again to my channel. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining me from Africa, Asia, Europe, America, or Australia, I thank you very much for joining me on this program today. Wherever you are joining me from, please always go to the comment section and leave your comments. Say it the way you feel it. It's all welcome. I do appreciate. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed. Today, I bring you information on things that are going on in Nigeria, as you all know. That is what my mission is here. Always bringing you information on the details on things that are happening in that contraption called Nigeria. As you all know, today is June 12th, a day that they call their Democracy Day. As you all know, there is no democracy in Nigeria. All we have is dictatorship. A tyrant is in power. And the people of Nigeria have decided to come out today, being a democratic day, to protest against the government of Mohammadu Buhari. The protest is ongoing in Nigeria, and as you all know, the government will always take on the people, attacking the people with their military and their police, arresting as many as they can, injuring as many as they can, trying to kill as many as they can. That is what they are still doing. They have never changed tactics. As you all know, even his speech, when he made the speech, you can see the threat. He's always threatening the citizens of that very country. There is nothing to write home about that very contraption called Nigeria. That is why, for some of us, we have had enough, and we are no longer interested in the one Nigeria issue. All we are asking is a breakup. We are asking a breakup from that very contraption. Let people go their separate ways. You can see the Biafrans are asking for the breakup. The ODUDUAs are asking for the breakup. They are no longer willing to be able to pretend that it's all well when it is not well. The pretense is so much. But today, the most painful thing and the most difficult issue that we're going to dive into is the complicity of the southern elites and politicians in this very crime. The silence of the southern elites has become so much that it's causing a lot of damage in the southern part of Nigeria. The damage that it's causing, that is going to affect our children, if care is not taken. Let people not be silent. It is time for us to open up our mouth and begin to speak. Begin to talk about this very issue. It is not well. No matter how people pretend, it is not well. It is not well. The government at all instances is doing everything to make sure that he takes the lands of the indigenous people and gives to the Fulanis. But this government, these governors and politicians in the southern part of Nigeria seem not to be mentioning this very issue. They are always dancing around it. Some of the time you see them continue to even protect the president himself, who is the perpetrator of this evil. That is why most of the time when they come on media, they begin to tell us about the difference between president and presidency. Knowing fully well that these two things are the same. They are the same person speaking, the same. They have one agenda. Whatever you hear, they say the president said, is what Mohammadu Buhari is saying. But every now and again, you will see the southern governors, more especially, the southern governors coming out to make case for this tyrant in power. They will come and tell you that it is the presidency that said that Buhari have not spoken. What is the difference between the president and the presidency? They try to confuse themselves. These are people who claim to be educated and learned, but yet, out of their selfish interest, out of their wickedness, and out of their corruption, they will always try to play down on the fact and try to hide the fact from the people. We cannot keep silent and we cannot continue to condone that. The southern politicians, it doesn't matter their religion, it doesn't matter their tribe, it doesn't matter what they believe, they are all complicit in this very thing that we are facing, in the problem that's going on in Nigeria now, because they have failed to speak up. The insecurity we are facing in the southern part of Nigeria now is being caused by President Mohammadu Buhari and his governors and elected officials, with all the elite in the south. Because they are silent, the silence of the elite in the south is creating the damage more. They have failed to call him out. They have failed to mention the real problem. It is difficult to see a governor in the south that mentioned the real problem. In Nigeria as a whole, the only governor that comes out and calls them for what they are is Governor Samuel Oto. Samuel Oto and his wife in their speech have made it categorically clear that Mohammadu Buhari is sponsoring the agenda of genocide. He is sponsoring the Fulanis, the agenda of Fulanization of Nigeria, taking land from the indigenous people, from the indigenous tribe and give it to Fulanis. That is the agenda of Mohammadu Buhari. And the people who are constituting nuisance and causing the insecurity in this country is the Fulani herdsmen. But you can never hear that from the southern governors. You can't hear that from the southern governors. They will only come out. Some of them will come out and begin to tell you how everybody is a herdsman. That is the kind of thing you will hear in the southeast. Somebody like Omahi will come out and tell you that every tribe is a herdsman. That you don't have to call them Fulanis. Knowing fully well that there are some tribes that are not herdsmen. The people who are herdsmen in Nigeria are Fulanis. They are the people known as herdsmen. And every atrocity that is being committed, they are the one committed. They are the herdsmen that are going around with the AK-47, killing people. People have caught them red-handed. People have heard them speak. Victims who later came out from that very tragedy came out to say what they saw. Videos are out there for you to see. Audios are out there for you to see. People have made a phone call. But yes, you see these elites in the southern part of Nigeria, the governors mainly, coming to make case for Mohammadu Buhari and his tribe. It is really sad. It's really sad. The only one time they came together to issue a reasonable communique that people applauded, you saw what happened. The whole north was shaking. The AGF came out against them, came out and was talking against them strictly, refusing the whatever they have discussed on that very meeting. What did they discuss? On how to have peace, banning the open grazing. The AGF came out to stand against the ban on open grazing, meaning that these people are complicit. They don't want peace in that very country. All they want is for us to leave the land for them to exterminate everybody and take the land. That is their mission. And after AGF have said that, the president's spokesman, Garba Shehu, came out to say the same thing. The spokesperson of the president came out to say the same thing. That whatever they have discussed in that very gathering of the southern governors has no effect. That the government cannot support it. That there is nothing like banning open grazing, that people should allow to move. This is what the spokesperson of the presidency said. And this is what the president said. But unfortunately, Akeredolu, who was the chairperson of that very meeting, came out. Instead of attacking the president directly for standing against the meeting they have held for peace, instead of attacking the president directly, he descended so low to begin to attack somebody who wasn't elected, an appointee, Garba Shehu. He began to trash Garba Shehu, that Garba Shehu is speaking for himself, that he's not speaking for President Muhammadu Buhari. When you and I know that this man is speaking for President Muhammadu Buhari, he was so scared that he couldn't be able to face Muhammadu Buhari face to face and challenge him to what he has just said. I wish it was Otto that made that statement. I wish it was Otto in that position. I know what Otto can say. But Akeredolu came out. Instead of standing up as a man, he was just talking with cowardice. You can see the fear in him, in his voice. He concentrated on Garba Shehu instead of attacking the president that sent Garba Shehu. Trying to exonerate Buhari, that it wasn't Buhari that said it. It was Garba Shehu. They never heard anything from Buhari. When you know that this person was appointed by Buhari and it is spokesperson, this is the method that the southern governors and the elites have been using all this while. Whatever the presidency says, they said it's presidency, not Buhari. Be confusing people, and then the Fulanis will be going deeper and deeper, killing as many as they can, taking as many land as they can, and destroying as many lives as they can. Finally, what happened? The president have came out to issue an interview. The interview, they said, the man they brought that said it is Buhari that issued the interview. You can hear what he said. his democracy day speech, you can see what he said. Exactly what Garba Shehu was saying. That is what Buhari came out to defend. In that very interview with Rise TV, you can see him saying that people want him to contradict his AGF. That he is standing with the AGF. You can see he's standing with the AGF. Maybe you have forgotten what the AGF said. I am going to play the video for you of what the AGF said then.
What's your view on the issue of restructuring?
Well, you see, my view about restructuring as well cannot be divorced from the political undertone. Now, take, for example, what we have existing as a structure. As tiers of government, we have federal, state, and local government. Now, coming down to the local government, what is happening to the local government? Those that are clamoring for restructuring, what have they done in terms of ensuring the efficiency, functional efficiency of the local government at the local government level? Here we are having a governor clamoring for restructuring and denying a local government, which is a tier of government, the financial resources to function effectively.
But on a larger note,
yes,
does Nigeria need restructuring?
Well, I think it is all about, when you talk of restructuring, what are you talking about precisely, so that I can answer you within the context of your understanding of restructuring?
Great. And I like the fact that you asked me that question, because restructuring means different things to different people. A lot of people have defined it in different ways. But let me throw back the question to you, AGF. Mm-hmm. To this government under President Buhari, what does restructure mean?
Well, as far as this government is concerned, structuring is allowing the functionality of the democratic structures. You cannot be clamoring for restructuring in a system whereby you have a responsibility to allow the existing tiers of government to operate. You are denying them functional operation, and you are shouting restructuring. You cannot claim for restructuring in a situation whereby three arms of government, you have the responsibility to allow them to flourish and operate optimally. You are undermining their operations by denying them the autonomy granted constitutionally, and yet be clamoring for restructuring. So within the context of restructuring, what matters most is allowing the democratic structures, allowing the federal structures to operate optimally. Until we now learn to allow these structures to operate optimally, there is no way we can have the benefit associated with those structures. So in a situation whereby the elites, whereby the political elements are denying these structures to operate optimally, I don't think there is any justification for for perhaps clamoring for restructuring that is not in any way well packaged. As far as I'm concerned, I do not understand what restructuring any political individual is talking about, against the background of the fact that, by the other hand, he is denying the existing constitutional structures to operate optimally.
So when the southern governors are asking for restructuring, you're throwing back to them that they need to go and restructure their state. Is that what you're saying?
It's truly, because they cannot deny, for example, the local government to operate optimally. They cannot deny the autonomy of the legislature, state legislature, and state judiciary, and still be clamoring for restructuring. What structuring are you talking about?
But those who have, for example, let's take one item at a time.
Yes.
The issue of devolution of power.
Yes.
Do you think that the federal government carries too much? The concurrent and the exclusive legislative list, do you think that it should be tampered with?
All powers are indeed embedded in financial autonomy. What have they done to allow the local government structures to operate optimally? Take, for example, a situation whereby a local government council is entitled, among others, to participate in the security arrangement of a state. and then the local government council chairman is denied of the fund to run the local government. With the fund, he can now deploy the resources down to the village head, down to some other associations operating with it. But now you deny him the resources available to make them available to a village head. Even if a village head has intelligence report about a criminal existing within the society, he is denied of the limited resources that he could use to come over to the local government council chairman to notify him, for the local government council chairman to come over to the state DSS headquarters, for example, or the police to notify. Then what are you talking about?
So you will not advise the president to listen to those calls for restructuring?
They should address it at their own level first, and then let us see what happens before now coming over to the president. It's not about the president. It's about denial of the functionality of the structures at the bottom, at the lower level. And that is what, indeed, restructuring is all about. If you allow the state legislature to operate optimally, the checks and balances required will be there. If you allow the local government council to operate optimally, the necessary development in terms of devolution of powers are there. But once you deny them the resources to operate, the autonomy to operate, then certainly you cannot, you do not have a legitimate right to clamor, to perhaps agitate for any restructuring. So, because you are not a believer in allowing the process to operate optimally in terms of taking its natural course.
So for you, restructuring call is dead on arrival?
I don't even understand what they are talking about restructuring against the background of denial of the other existing structures to operate. So
they also called, that they asked and they said, actually, that they've banned open grazing across southern region of the country. What's your view on that?
Well, it's about constitutionality. Within the context of the freedoms expressed in our constitution, enshrined in our constitution, can you deny a right of a Nigerian? For example, it's as good as saying, perhaps maybe the northern governors coming together to say that they prohibit spare parts trading in the north. Does it hold water? Does it hold water for a northern governor to come and state expressly that he now prohibits spare parts trading in the north?
But when the governors came together and said, this is the problem that we've seen, and this is the solution, and they felt, look, the solution will be stop the open grazing across the land, stop the transportation by foot of cattle.
If you are talking of a constitutionally guaranteed right, the better approach to it is to perhaps, you have spoken earlier about the constitutional amendment, is to go back to ensure the constitution is amended. The constitution, freedom and liberty of movement, among others, is established by the constitution. If by an inch you want to have any compromise over it, the better approach is to go back to the National Assembly. Open grazing should be prohibited, and see whether you can have the desired, perhaps, support for the constitutional amendment in that respect. But it is indeed a dangerous position for any governor in Nigeria to think that he can bring about any compromise on the freedom and liberty of individuals to move around.
All right. So, AGF, should you mention what you think the state government should be doing? If they do their part, what is the federal government ready to do to restructure?
The federal government has been working wonderfully in that direction in terms of ensuring the autonomy of perhaps maybe the state legislature, autonomy of the judiciary, and indeed the optimal operation of that matter of the local government as a tier of government. So until such time when other political elements, political leaders come to terms with the reality of the situation, of allowing these institutions to operate optimally, any idea of restructuring is indeed a kind of, I do not know how best to describe it, but certainly does not hold water.
So, should we be expecting anything under this government as relating to 2014 confab, or that you're not considering it?
Well, I am not in a position in my own right to make any, perhaps maybe specific position without recourse to the system. But one thing I can tell you that we are doing what we are supposed to do. Executive Order number 10, for example, relating to the autonomy of the state legislature, state judiciary, is there. And then as it relates to the local government, for example, doing as much as possible in terms of ensuring that they are given the, they are allowed to operate optimally. These are some of the things that the federal government is pushing hard and working hard to ensure. So within the context of the powers available at the disposal of the federal government, I think in terms of deployment or perhaps devolution of powers, I think these are steps that need to be strengthened. Consensus building should be around allowing these institutions of the state to operate optimally. That, I think, should be the starting point.
All right, we're out of time and we need to go, Honorable Minister. But before we do that, just a short one. Where do you think the presidency should be zoned to in 2023?
Well, you see, the zoning arrangement, generally speaking, I think is political. And I'm here as the Attorney General of the Federation of Nigeria and not as a chairman of a political party.
I just want to get your view as a politician, too.
Well, I have no views over it, honestly, because one, I think it's preemptive, taking into consideration that we are just 2 years down the ladder in terms of the tenure in office. And I think the attention, concentration of mind should be more on development, and that is what we are struggling to achieve much more than the political. I am not expecting that question. My mind is not prepared over it in terms of consultation, and politics is about consultations.
Thank you so much, Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Abubakar Malami. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you, Sheung.
Appreciate it.
Very grateful.
Then, for you to remember that Buhari has no interest to make peace in Nigeria. He doesn't have any interest of the Southerns at heart. All he's concerned about is the Northern Fulanis. The Fulanization of Nigeria is real. They are pursuing it with the last drop of their blood. With anything possible, they are pursuing it. And you don't have to be silent. Today is Democracy Day. Open up your mouth. Speak up. Speak up as much as you can. From your own corner, from any platform you have, speak. Let the world hear us. Even if they will not come to our aid, at least let them hear us. We will continue to fight. Biafra must be free. ODUDUA must be free. What we are asking for is self-determination. We do not want any form of one Nigeria. We don't want any constitutional amendment, neither do we want any restructuring. What we want is going our separate ways to have a nation that we can be proud of. Everybody go his or her separate ways to have peace and establish the model that they want to operate. Since the North have insisted on their open grazing and their cattle route, they have their cattle route in the northern part of Nigeria. They should continue with it. Continue with whatever they plan there, their Sharia. Go on with it. Nobody's going to trouble them. The Southwest will go and practice their own on their own method. The Biafrans will go and practice their own. The Middle Belt will be on their own. That is what we're asking. Only that can bring peace, so that these regions can be able to secure themselves and their regions effectively and secure their land. That is what we're asking for and nothing more. If you have not woken up, wake up and begin to ask the right question. Let the governors of the some part of Nigeria stop this silence. Stop this silence. Call this man out for what he is. Call them out for what they are and point to their face and tell them exactly what the people are asking for. What we ask for is self-determination for us to have peace and safety. Nothing more, nothing less. If they refuse, there's no problem. Whatever they bring, they will kill us, we will kill them. At the end, just as MAZI and NNAMDI have said, Biafra must surely come. ODUDUA must surely come. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that we notify each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remember blessed. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.